Hello and welcome to Radiant Freedom Digital Marketing. And this is the recording of Lesson 5, Part 2, featuring the long-awaited live demos on how to set up your SEO silo structure in WordPress from our TGI SEO Fridays webinar series with Odin Xavier from the Canadian marketing team. And this was recorded on Friday, June 29th. Once again, I'll include links in the description below to Odin's channel and website, and I highly recommend you check him out.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another TGI SEO Friday. Oh, I love these days, Jason. We have Jason Ross here from Radiant Freedom, and my name's Odin from the Canadian marketing team. And over the last number of weeks, I've been witness to Jason educating everyone that's coming on board here with us on search engine optimization. But he goes even further than that. He's showing us WordPress designs. He's showing us silo structures. He's showing us how to do blogs. I mean, absolutely everything. Jason, what you've been sharing has really, truly been, it's actually made my business better. And I want to say thank you for being here once again to share with us more about search engine optimization. And by the way, everyone, you're going to have a chance to take a look at all the previous recordings on the Radiant Freedom YouTube page. So please go subscribe to the YouTube page so that every time one of these comes up, you're going to be able to take advantage of it and watch it. And most of all, remember that this is a lot of work. Chances are maybe you don't want to do this kind of work. So definitely contact Jason from Radiant Freedom and his team, and they can help you with all your search engine optimization needs. Jason, thanks so much for being here today. Absolute pleasure once again. I love these Fridays. These are the best days. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a pleasure once again to be here. And thank you once again for sharing your platform with me every 2 weeks for TGI SEO Fridays. And so let's jump into it. So Odin was mentioning silo structure. That was weird. Okay, looks like we're getting another technical glitch again. Oh wait, no, sorry, it wasn't a technical glitch. Okay, come on, there we go. Sorry, it wasn't a technical glitch. It's getting a little bit.
I paused the recording.
Yeah, that's right. So what we're going to be doing here is this is going to be part 2 of lesson 5. And today what we'll be covering is we'll once again be doing a review of silo structure. Just to remind you what that is before we jump into the long overdue silo structure for a WordPress live demo. So here's a review of what silo structure is. So again, it's a way of organizing the pages of a website into topics and logical groupings to help search engines index your site's contents more effectively and quickly, and thus determine what searches it should rank for and how highly, and index your pages sooner by guiding them through your pages more easily. And two main things that it's used for. First is, as we talked about previously, it's to make it easier for search engines to know what each section of your site is about, what each page is about, so that it can rank them properly in the appropriate searches. So they appear higher in the relevant searches and do not appear at all in irrelevant searches. So that way it keeps your traffic nice and clean. You're connecting with your potential customers and not connecting with people who aren't looking for what you're offering. Now, on the other side of it, it also organizes your information into logical groupings, so it's easier for the people on your website to find. It does this by keeping the information grouped together, so everything about a particular topic is grouped into a single silo, and a different topic is in a different silo, and so on. So, for example, if someone's looking for a service, they know they can find it in the services section. So here's the schematic of what silo structure looks like. So you'll have at the top of every website is your home page, which is the top of the full site silo, I guess you could say. Then underneath that, you'll have all your different topic-based silos. So you have one maybe about your about section, which might be the top of that silo might be an about page, followed by different pages that cover different specific things like what your mission is, your team, so on. Then you'll have your services silo, which will then cover all of your services. Generally, you'll have a parent page that kind of gives an index of what all your services are, with some brief overview information and call to action to get people into the detailed pages, which then cover each individual service in detail. Then you can have a blog silo where all your articles go, and so on. And you can have as many or as few silos as you need. You can even layer your silos, so you can have a silo inside a silo. So for example, your blog, you might have specific categories where you're talking about specific topics. On my website, for example, might have a silo where I talk about web development, another where I talk about search engine optimization, another where I talk about cybersecurity, and so on.
Here's something interesting. I was developing silos this morning with a client, and we decided that in the marketplace, silos are so traditional under services and so on. So what we decided to do is break out each of the services specifically, and this is a beverage company that and what we did is we came up with beer, we came up with wine, we came up with a couple of other different silos. So can the silos be about marketing specifically, so that we can get a better attention of the eye and actually drive the clients to where we want them to be looking, instead of just being generic?
Yeah, that's the idea. The only reason in this one here it's generic is just for the sake of the example.
I was just wondering how far a silo could go. Just a curiosity question.
I mean, really, the two main limits are your imagination and the technical limitations of the hardware and the internet itself. The main thing is you don't want to
So basically,
basically the main thing is you don't want to overcomplicate it or oversimplify it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. I appreciate it.
The other thing you want to consider when designing a silo structure is to make sure that it follows some sort of logic that would parallel what people would actually be expecting to see on there, so that way when humans are coming onto your site, it makes it more useful for them to be able to find the information. Because you can have the best information in the world, but if people can't find it, then it's not doing you much good, is it?
I completely agree with you. That's from a marketing and sales point of view, I want to make sure that when a person comes to a website, it essentially becomes an education tool for that education spectrum. I know that a lot of people are gathering research in the early stages, and they're just making a decision of if they want to do this. And there's people that are in that decision-making process already. And then there's the 10% of people that are really ready to buy right now and hand over the cash. We're not really making a website for that 10%. We're making a website for the 90% of people that are in the process of being educated and are looking to say, what makes you any better, any different than anyone else in the marketplace that's selling the same products and services? And our job, as my job as sales marketing guy, is to differentiate in the marketplace. So I think it's wonderful what you're sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And really, that's one of the things you can do with silo structure is help to differentiate based on how you organize the information on your website, what information goes where. And getting back to the review here. So what you see on screen here is just examples of, for generic example of what your basic silo structure would look like when you're looking at it in the address bar of your browser. And this is really there to help you to make sure that when you're visiting your pages and doing your doing your testing to make sure that everything's working right, this is what you should be seeing on a basic silo page. So it should look like yourwebsite.com / whatever you named that silo / whatever you named the page. If you're doing a bit more advanced silo within a silo structure, then it should be the parent silo, the child silo, then the page. After, of course, yourwebsite.com. Now, a home page should just be www.mywebsite.com. So that should be the most basic address on your site. And your parent pages should just simply be, the name of your website.com / and the name of the silo, which should also be the same as the name of the page you're currently on. Now, these things could possibly end in .html or other endings after a dot, depending on the requirements of the file structure that you're using, but this is generally what it should look like. And so that's it for the review. So now we're going to break out of here and head on to the demo website for our live demos. And so what we're going to do is start with, because in WordPress, fortunately, you don't have to set all that stuff up manually. WordPress actually does the heavy lifting for you once you've gotten a few settings set up right. And as long as you remember to repeat those settings every time you add a new page or make any structural changes to your website and how you organize your pages. So the first thing you want to do right now, we're just on the main, actually we're looking in the menus, but when you first log into your site, you'll most likely start on a page something like this one here, which is your main dashboard. So it'll have some different information on there, but what we'll be looking for is this menu bar along the left-hand side. And we'll be going down here to settings. Then inside that, we'll be looking for this menu option called permalinks, which is approximately about the middle third of the menu. So I'm going to click on that. What that's going to do is open up a settings page where you can now change your settings. Now, by default, WordPress will usually install it on one of these top options here, either plain, post name, and so on. What you want to do is go down here to custom structure, and then you'll want to delete what's in there already, and then they'll look at these buttons down at the bottom. So the first one we're looking for is you want to click on this one here. It says %category %. Now that's what's called a placeholder, and what will happen is when you create your actual pages, it's going to then substitute this in for the category name, which in the case of a page, that'll be the parent page. In the case of blog posts, it'll be the name of the category you chose. Then you want to do post name. That'll be the title of each individual post and page. So what you want to look for is make sure it has something like this /category/post name. And then the last thing you want to do is at the bottom here, click Save Changes to make sure you've saved your work. So now, if you take a look, you see it's showing category, post name. So that's going to set how the address is going to look like up here when we start looking at the actual pages. Of course, we haven't set anything up for that, so what I'm going to do is just open up an example of the home page. Of course, that's going to look like our normal silo because that does that by default. But what about if we were to go to, say, the About page? Again, that's at the parent level, so that's going to look normal. But let's say we go to something like Mission, which should be a part of your About silo. It's in the wrong place. Right now, we'll be getting to how to fix that a little bit later on. So right now, though, as you can see, it's in terms of internally, it's actually set up to follow the About silo. It's just in the wrong place in the menu. So these are some of the things you'd be doing to test if things are where they should be. So now that we've taken a look at that, the next step for setting things up is you want to go to your pages. We'll click on all pages so we can take a look at all the pages we set up for this demo. And what WordPress is going to do when you go over to this, it's going to load up a list of every page you've created. Well, if you've created a lot, it might be split into two. This list might be split into 2 pages. So right now what we're looking at is going to open up the About page. This is an example of a parent page.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now the Mission page is in the is of course in the wrong place in the main menu. But if you look up in the address bar, you'll see that it shows up right in the address bar. So you have your About/Mission. So that means it's set up at the back end the right way. It's just visually it's not looking like it's in the silo. So which means it's going to make things more challenging for people to find their information the way you want them to. So what we'll be doing here is next step is you want to click on pages, all pages in your menu in your WordPress control panel. So that's going to open up the listing of all of your pages you have on your website. Now, if there's A lot of pages, this may get split into 2 different pages, in which case you might need to switch between a few different pages. You also have options to split between published pages, private or draft pages, deleted pages in case you accidentally deleted something you later want to bring it back. But right now what we'll be looking at is going into take a quick look at editing your About page. Now this is at the parent level of a silo, so this should not have any parent pages to it. So if you look over in this here, page attribution under parent, what we'd be looking for is, say, this page here says no parent, which it already does. So we'll just hit the back button and leave because we don't need to make any changes here. Now again, we'll take a look at permission to give you an example of a page that's in the back end been set up properly. Then next we'll show you, this is of course an example of a child page to a silo and how it should be set up. Now you notice the permalink which is your address to reach this page, shows the website url.com/about/mission. So that looks like it should. If you look under page attribution parent under the drop down, you'll see it's set to have the About page as its parent, which is exactly the way you want. So again, this one's set up properly. So we'll just hit the back button and back out of it. But now scrolling down, you notice under the services page, which is another parent page, services 3 is actually one of our 3 services that should be under this page. Now, according to this, it looks like it's not, because ones that are sub-pages should have that little line there. This one doesn't. So let's take a closer look and see if that is true, that it does not currently have services set as its parent. And so now we're in the page. We're scrolling down again to the page attribution. And you'll look here, it says no parent. Whoops, looks like something's wrong. We've missed something when we're setting this page up. So how do you fix that? Click the down arrow here. And you'd also do this when you're first setting the page up. Click the About page, or not the About page, pardon me. Click Services. And now click Update, and that'll save your change. So now we take a look at Services 3. According to this, it's looking like it's set up right. You can even preview it live on the website. And it'll load this page up, and you'll see that it says radiantfreedom.com/services/service3. So great, it's set up.
Remember on the top there, Jason, where it says About and Mission. Isn't that Mission supposed to be underneath About?
Yeah, Mission and Team both should be underneath About.
Okay.
Also, if you look under Services, you notice Service 3 isn't anywhere in the menu.
Yeah.
So
what's going on?
so people can't navigate to this right now. So that's a problem. So we have a couple of items in the menu are in the wrong place. We have one thing that should be in the menu that's not. So how do we fix that? Well, first we're going to head back into our dashboard so we can get into our admin area. Then what we're going to do is go over to Appearance on our left-hand menu. Then we're going to select Menus. And what this will do is it'll allow us to now edit our main menu. Now, if you don't have a menu, then you can select Create New Menu. If you have multiple menus, you might need to make sure you select one you want to work with. In this case, we have just one menu, so that's okay. We don't need to worry about that. So first, you'll notice under About, we have Mission and Team are not indented, whereas under Service, you have Service 1 and Service 2 are. So what that means is these are what's called sub-items of the Service tab. So what we'll do is put Mission, move it up here like this, so that this little highlighted box becomes indented. And we'll drop it here. So now
Cool.
Underneath the About, the same thing goes for Team. The other thing you want to do is make sure these things are organized in the order you want them listed. So in this case, you want Mission first, then Team. At the main level, you want Home, About, Services, Blog, and then normally.
Jason, I used to do HTML websites. That's what I really liked. I never really got into the WordPress, but now you're converting me.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Pretty cool stuff you have.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than hand coding stuff, isn't it? And a lot faster in most cases.
I was doing a lot of hand coding. It's true. Yes. It's Pretty cool. Right
Yeah.
on.
So now we want to add missing pages in. So like our service 3 page, what you do is look in this section here. This will be a list of your most recent pages. If you can't find it in here, you can click View All, and that'll make sure that it lists every single page that exists on your website that's been published. If you still can't find it, and say you have a really huge website with like dozens and dozens of pages, you might want to use the search tab, and that'll allow you to search for the exact page you want. In this case, it's in the most recent, because we want service 3. So now we'll click Add to Menu. And what's going to happen is it's going to just stick it at the bottom of the menu. Now, of course, we don't want that. We want it under the Services tab, and we want it to be the 3rd item. So we need to drag it up and make sure it's directly under the Services. We don't want it like this under Service 2 either. That would also be wrong. So now we have our Services tab set up properly. Service 3 is now accessible through the main menu. What about our blog, though? Do we have categories in our blog? Yes, we do. We have a couple of different categories. So maybe we want to have the people that will access specific categories directly. So let's, sub-silo our blog too while we're at it. So what we'll do is put this tick box, click Add to Menu. And again, it'll throw them in at the bottom of the menu. So what we're going to want to do is drag these over so they, again, appear underneath the blog tab. And then now that we've finished all this, we'll just double check again. Yeah, we have a Home tab. There's nothing underneath it. About tab has its mission and team tabs. They're in the right order. Services has Service 1, Service 2, Service 3. They're in the right order. Blog has Category 1, Category 2 in the right order. So it looks like our menu is now set up the right way. So now what I'm going to do is click Save. And as soon as it's finished saving, then I'm going to head back to our live view of the website. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is just reload this page, and you should see the menu items all pop into the right position. And there we go.
Well, Jason, that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, so now you have your home page, your about page with mission and team underneath it. Mission is, of course, bolded because in this theme, that's how it tells you which page you're actively on. We have our 3 services page, and now we can actually, visitors can actually get to service 3 and then read all about what that service would do for us through our real website. In our blog, we can now see people can get at, the general blog page, which would just be a feed of every single article. So you have article 1, 2, 3. People can also narrow it down to a specific category. So now you notice that there's only 1 article showing up here instead of 3. So that way, if somebody's looking for category 1, now they can find it and see only the blog articles on category 1. And you notice that this here is going category 1, or to open a specific article up. Now it's showing category 1 / the article.
Pretty awesome today, Jason. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, also you're noticing, though, that you're losing the actually the other thing that says category. It's something that WordPress does by default, and there's no category yet. You're just using the word category to default category, but notice as soon as you go into a specific category, it replaces that with the name of that category. So that's, in a nutshell, how you set up the basic silo structure of your website through the pages, the WordPress settings, and your menu. Now, of course, to complete your silo, some of the things you can do is on the services page is add some short descriptions, summary descriptions, and links to your service 1, 2, and 3 page. In your about main page, you can have a link to your mission and your team pages. And now the blog section, there isn't really a lot you can do about that because WordPress does that on automation. However, there are options if you're using a sidebar to be able to fix that, which goes beyond the scope of this particular demo, but that's something we can cover in future videos where we're specifically talking about how to set up a WordPress website.
And that's what we're going to be talking about next week or 2 weeks?
Next week will be...
Or next time.
Yeah. Actually, next time will be... it's about time for us to revisit keywords, which we haven't covered in quite a while. And we'll actually be starting to go into some live demos about how to actually look up your keywords. So...
Oh, that's so cool. I'm looking forward to that one. Because what I like to do is I like to do the marketing. So if I could help you get all the template and the keywords all done up first, then your job becomes a whole lot easier, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Helping each other, that's what a team does. Thanks so much for today's session.
Yeah, no problem. So if you want to catch these videos on recording, or you want to get a hold of any of us, you can get a hold of me via email. My email is on the screen right now. There's my website, as well as my YouTube channel. You can also get onto Odin's YouTube channel, where he's got a ton of videos. He tends to focus more on, more the strategic side of marketing, whereas I focus more specifically on the website side of it.
Which is perfect.
And the technical stuff to do with websites and SEO and all that sort of stuff. So that's the end of lesson 5, part 2. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section down below this video. And myself and Odin will do our best to get you answers. If a lot of people have the same question, that might even become the topic of a future video. So thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Take care, guys. Thank God it's Friday.
Once again, thank you for watching our webinar. If you found it helpful, be sure and hit the thumbs up button to let us know. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. And the schedule for our upcoming TGI SEO Fridays webinars is in the description down below. Along with the link, you can sign up to attend them live. And I highly recommend you get on them live, as you'll have a chance to ask questions and get them answered live on the webinar. Content which is not included in these replays. I've also included Odin's links in the description down below. Now remember, you're awesome, so shine your awesomeness for the world to see. This has been Jason from Radiant Freedom. Bye for now.